Fine, Abe. It's like, what is it? Do it. You got to do it. Do it. You got to do it. He's saying tonight's episode of Night Strike 1's Hit or Miss is brought to you by the bold and creamy taste of Blue Ranch dressing. Now with none of the fat and the regret. I don't understand that one. I don't know where he pulled that one from. So, no idea. So, welcome all to Hit or Miss. I am your host, Night Strike, and we've got an interesting panel this evening. Let's go through the panelists and, yeah. All right, AWAG, what's going on?
Hiya, I'm AWAG. Check out my channel, and I have a question for everybody in the panel. New Jersey jokes aside, when it comes to 30-round AR magazines, do you load to 30 or 28?
You load to 30. There's no question.
I use the Daniel Defense mags that hold 32.
I load them until I get tired of loading them, and if it ends up with 20, 25, 30, just whatever, till my fingers get sore.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
It's that. All right. It seems Gizzard Gary is joining us with the ever elusive George Grayson Camp. How you guys doing tonight? Gary? The microphone's muted.
My microphone is muted, so I said nothing. Okay, let's try this again. Hi, I'm Gizzard Gary, and you're not.
This is true. This is true.
Thanks for the invite. And been joined by my cat and channel partner, George Grayson.
Cat channel partner. That's funny. That's funny. All right. All right. So, does George have any new content coming out soon?
He could. He's got a birthday coming up this Sunday.
Oh my!
He'll be 5 years old.
Congratulations!
All right.
He's gonna be an old man.
Kingpin, what's going on?
If you're looking for the truth, you've come to the right place, because I am not Gizzard Gary.
Okay.
Hashtag not Gizzard Gary.
You're sounding like a politician, but okay.
How you doing tonight, man? Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem. Anytime. Travis?
Yeah, man. Appreciate the invite. Thank you very much. G-Plugs as usual. Check out the Caliber Corner. Thursdays from 5 to 7 Central Time, 6 to 8 East Coast Time. And this week we'll be talking about AR-15 barrels as well as the 25 caliber handgun as a defensive viable option. That's right. So come for all the controversy this Thursday. Thanks, man. I appreciate the invite.
All right. No problem. All right. So tonight, what are we going to talk about? I have no idea. So we're just going to wing it. And I'm just going to go through this news article that I saw earlier today where basically Governor Greg Abbott of Texas signed 10 pro-Second Amendment bills into law. And what they are is House Bill 121, represented by Valerie Swanson, R. Spring, and Senator Brandon Creighton, R. Conroe. This is all of Texas. It's the Texas government. Provides Bill 121 provides a legal defense for licensed to carry holders who unknowingly enter establishments with the 30-06 or 30-07 signs, as long as they promptly leave when verbally informed of the policy. So if you don't know what the 30-06 or 30-07 signs are in Texas, those are signs of which stores or establishments have to be posted visibly out front of the door to let people know that they can't carry or conceal carry in their establishments. So, but that's in Texas. I think that's also a double-edged sword, because if you do not allow your patrons to carry, you're also going and you're basically holding yourself liable for whatever happens. And I know we went into this last week, but I'm just saying that because whether people like it or not, if you have a business but you don't want anybody to carry a gun in it, you're taking protection and security away from the people only to please yourself and, whatever rich jackass wants, guns taken away from people.
And unfortunately for a lot of those businesses, it could be a hands down decision from the company that owns your restaurant chain, or like our cable office doesn't allow concealed carry, which is, I don't understand why, but anyway, no concealed weapons allowed is what it says. And so, it's handed down to us from corporate. I'm like, why? Well, we don't know. It just is. Okay. And unfortunately, I don't have a choice. I have to give them my business because I have no other providers in my town for cable internet, or So, but yeah, it is definitely a liability, man. I agree with you.
Yeah. Snake Doctor 78 says, going to Palmetto State at Night Strike. Going to Palmetto State Armory tomorrow. We are on vacation down here in South Carolina. Well, if you're in the Charleston area, give me an email, and who knows.
Speaking of Palmetto State Armory, I picked up an AR-10 complete kit for $350 last Wednesday.
Did you use the GunTube link?
I believe so.
Okay, good. All right. So we got some more bills to go over. So to go over for Texas, because I want to get through all these, because a lot of them actually do some good. Some of them are kind of hit or miss, but some of them actually do some real good, and I want to go over them because I'd rather go on a good note tonight and talk about some good things that are happening in the country instead of always going and droning on about the bad. I'm tired of being negative. I want to be positive, so we got to win here. Let's go with it. All right. House Bill 302 by Representative Dennis Paul, Republican Houston, and Senator Brian Hughes, Republican Mineola, prohibits no firearms clauses in future residential lease agreements and protect tenants' rights to possess lawfully owned firearms and ammunitions in dwelling units and on manufactured home lots, and to transport their guns directly between their personal vehicles and these locations. So basically, they're redoing the tenant law, which some landlords were getting away with no firearms clauses, and that don't sit right with Night Strike. So that's nice to see in Texas. I hope some of this spreads elsewhere in the country, but right now, they had that. House Bill 1143. These are all Republican. These are all Texas laws. So, Texas House 1143. Representative Cole Hefner, Republican of Mount Pleasant, Texas, and Senator Brian Hughes, again Mineola, prevents school districts from effectively prohibiting the possession of firearms in private motor vehicles by limiting their authority to regulate the manner in which they are stored in locked cars and trucks, including by employees. How about that? How about that, Travis?
Man, I am fine with that. I think I can already do that here in Nebraska, but it's nice that it's being expanded. So now let's just allow national concealed carry in the classroom, and I will be very happy about that.
I believe some of these laws are being put in place because in some of the anti-gun cities like
Austin,
may have gone after a couple people for some of this stuff, which they shouldn't have to, and they shouldn't go after people for these things. But apparently they probably did, and that's why these laws have to be put in place. I'm okay with more laws if they actually do something good, or if they specifically state something so they can't screw over the people. Okay, I'm okay with laws that actually do help, and it seems that these do actually help people. So I'm not unopposed to some of these laws. Granted, it sucks that these have to be laws in the first place, and we can't just take the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed and be done with it. But unfortunately, Democrats want to hate. I guess that's what it is, or just anti-gunners in general. Anyways. House Bill 1177, Representative Dade Felon, Republican of Beaumont, and Senator Brandon Crichton of Republican in Conroe, protects citizens from being charged with a crime for carrying a handgun without a license to carry while evacuating from an area during a declared state or local disaster or while returning to that area. It allows shelters, which are otherwise prohibited locations, to decide whether to accommodate evacuees with firearms in their possession. You got a good little good and a bad in there, because you shouldn't let them decide to accommodate the people. You should just let them accommodate the people and be done with it, because it shouldn't be up to them who shouldn't have firearms. It should be up to the Second Amendment, which already says, hey, you've got the right. But again, that's again, they are enhancing it a little bit, so I'll let them have that one. It's, as I said, that one's a little hit or miss, but what do you guys think?
Well, I'll tell you what I think, partner.
Oh, that's good.
I think I agree. Yeah, it's pretty hard to argue with that.
Yep. So all I have to say, Gary, is you keep firing those Tacondas.
Nice, right? Did you get the laws off of Truth About Guns, or where'd you find them?
I'm going through them. They're on the Truth About Guns. They're
okay, I thought maybe you had a link posted. I want to make sure I didn't miss it.
Yeah, here, I'll post them.
No, it's all good, man. I'm gonna follow these with you.
Anyways, we're gonna go on. House Bill 1791 by Representative Matt Krause, Republican, Fort Worth, and Senator Pat Fallon, Republican of Prosper. Closes loopholes in the state's wrongful exclusion law that cities, counties, and state agencies have been using to restrict license to carry holders in government buildings. Ooh, interesting. That's interesting.
Let's go through the language on that. Closes loopholes in the state's wrongful exclusion law. What do they mean by that?
Well, they've been apparently. It seems that some cities and counties and state agencies have been using a loophole to restrict who can and can't carry in government buildings.
Okay.
So there's that. Let's go on. Texas House Bill 2363 by Representative Cody Harris and Senator Cody Harris of our Palestine. Apparently, there's a Palestine, Texas.
Okay.
And Senator Brian Birdwell, Republican, Granbury, allows foster parents to store firearms in a safe and secure manner while making them more readily accessible for personal protection purposes. So, well, all this bill says is that foster parents can store their guns safely for protection. That's it. That's good. They shouldn't have to have that as a law, but at least it's clearly stated now. So, while I don't like having to have laws just to protect your rights, but again, sometimes it's the only way. Now I understand. I am for less law. I'm for less government and more freedom. But unfortunately, sometimes you have to put a law down in order to secure freedom. To make sure assholes don't try and make a mess of the place. All right. House Bill 3231. Representative Travis Clardy.
He's part of the Travi. He's in the Travi.
Of Nacogdoches. Okay.
Nacogdoches.
And Senator Pat Fallon, our Prosper, improves and modernizes the state's firearms preemption law, curbs the ability of municipalities to abuse their zoning authority, and circumvent state law to restrict the sale or transfer of firearms and ammunition at the local level, and allows the state attorney general to recover reasonable expenses incurred when obtaining injunctions against localities which violate the preemption statute. Ooh. You know what that means, Travis?
We can have a gun store across the street from my school?
If you want.
No,
it also means they can't use zoning and they can't municipalities and zoning authorities can't tell you where you can and can't put your guns, your gun stores. It also says that they can't make laws that circumvent your right.
I wonder if this is going to open up ranges that are within town or indoor ranges with selling ammunition. If they'll be allowed to sell ammo now, like maybe there's some outdoor ranges that weren't allowed to sell it before because of zoning laws, and now they can carry it.
Well, all I'm saying is these new laws in Texas are good laws, and it's great that the governor signed them. It's great that it got through their House and Senate too. So, you know.
I mean, if they're going to try to pass laws to restrict us, then we need to push for laws that don't restrict us. We'll play their game. You know, this is exciting stuff, man. This is really good stuff for Texas.
This is really good stuff for Texas, and it's good news. Some of it's a little hit or miss, I'll give you that, but it's good news overall. And I'm happy to talk about good things tonight instead of just bad things. You know, I want to be positive tonight. So, let's go over Senate Bill 535. All right, by Senator Donna Campbell, Republican, New Braunfels, and Representative Dan Flynn, Republican, Van. Apparently there is a Van, Texas. You know, watch out. It strikes churches, synagogues, and other places of worship from the list of prohibited locations in the Penal Code, clarifying that these places have the same right enjoyed by nearly all other controllers of private property in the state to decide whether to allow license to carry holders on their premises. So, as we saw what happened in Texas a couple years ago, where a guy across the street from the church or down the road from the church chased down the shooter that went and shut up people in a church in that small town of Texas, you know, if one or two people in that church had been able to carry, those people would not. Fewer people would have died overall as a result.
So I wonder if those churches are allowed to have a registered security team in their parish, because I believe in Nebraska you are allowed to do that. And Sandhills, if you're listening, you might disagree with me on that, but we need to look at the language, because there are churches that I know of that allow members to carry, and they're registered as a security squad for the church. So they're actually registered with the state, with the highway patrol, so that they understand that there are people that are carrying on the property. So before, Texas had an all-out ban on concealed carry in churches.
Yeah.
Do you guys know? Does anybody have any idea if that was the situation? Or
I don't know.
I mean, because the thing is, I mean, with churches, why should the state even be allowed to tell the church whether or not if they can allow concealed carry of firearms? That shouldn't even be the state's. I can get it maybe for hospitals or schools if they want to make a case for it, or government buildings, but churches are private places of worship. I mean, many of them, they own their own property. They own their own buildings. You know, they pay property tax like anybody else. Well, they're probably taxed.
Well, remember, it's striking them from prohibited locations. So basically, these places were on prohibited locations lists. Even if the churches said, yeah, you can carry, they were still prohibited by law.
Yeah.
So now they're not prohibited, you know, and it's up to the churches whether or not to allow or disallow and put up signs.
Okay.
So they're not off. It's off the table to allow whether they want their parishioners or their people to carry reasonably and responsibly or not. And I would tell you what, I'm not one for I don't ever want to have to shoot another person, another living being in my life. But at the same time, if I'm going to church and, you know, if I can carry and, you know, keep it concealed and people are all happy and I'm happy, and if some asshole comes into the church trying to attack and kill people, you know, sure as God is my witness that I'm gonna, you know, fire back at him.
And here's the thing about that. I almost feel like it is a restriction on my faith and my religion, because I can't feel safe in my place of worship because state law says that I'm not allowed to defend myself.
Now,
I feel like that restricts my faith, because then it says, well, I'm going to have to go to a different church that's going to allow me to conceal carry, because I can't feel safe in my place of worship because of your law.
I don't want to break the 10 Commandments, but again, I don't want to see anybody else who's worshiping God in my church killed because of some asshole.
More of a natural translation for the shall not kill would be shall not murder. There's a very, very easily searched out difference between murder and kill. Basically, our English language decided that it's going to be kill, but in the original text, it would have been thou shalt not murder.
So we got more to go through, so we're moving on. But Senate Bill 741 by Senator Brian Hughes, Republican of Mineola, and Representative Brooks Landgraf, Republican Odessa, prohibits a property owners association from including or enforcing a provision in a dedicatory instrument that prohibits, restricts, or has the effects of prohibiting or restricting any person who is otherwise authorized from lawfully possessing, transporting, or storing a firearm. So what that means was some property and homeowner associations in Texas were trying to circumvent the law by saying, "Oh, you can live here, but you can't any own. But if you want to live here, you have to be part of the association, and you can't have any firearms in your house or in your possession."
That's a big deal because if you guys have ever been down to Texas, the suburbs are just loaded and loaded with neighborhoods, with suburban neighborhoods, and they all have, well, not all, but many of them have HOAs, and they've got all their laws and their their restrictions and their codes they enforce and this and that, and I can see that being a problem, man, because some of these giant subdivisions have 100 homes in them, So yeah.
This is good news because
definitely.
Believe it or not, I've even had problems with with homeowners associations before because we were living at a place and the AC wasn't working quite well, so I had to put in a window unit, and they got on my ass for putting a window unit in the house, in the window because the AC wasn't working, and it took forever to get somebody out to fix the actual central HVAC unit. It took them like a month to send somebody out, and then they went after me for having the saying, "Oh, you can't keep that in there," and I'm like, "Well, I'm not living in the heat of South Carolina summer without air conditioning. I'm sorry. You don't like it, take me to court. Fuck you."
Tell them to call the HVAC company. Tell them to speed up the repair. It'll make them feel better.
Gary, can you put the Paul Harrell sign up for a picture again, real quick?
I think we just need that on standby. We can just flash that whenever we want to express our opinions.
Hold on just a minute here. Let me.
Okay, hold on, because this is exactly what I told them. In the Paul Harrell fashion. Call 1-888. Go fuck yourself.
Actually, this is a different picture, but you like this one too. So.
Tell you what, next time you tell them that, next time this happens to anybody, if they ever do that, say, I'm going to go public and tell the world that this HOA doesn't want my elderly parents or grandparents to have a comfortable home while we're waiting for a factory repair in our AC unit that your HOA required me to buy in the first place. Okay. So I will be happy to tell the world about how much this HOA, how little this HOA cares about. You do that, man, people will back down quick because they don't want their reputation all over Facebook.
Anyways, we're moving on. But that's good news. I'm glad to hear it. So go Texas. Go Texas. All right. Let's go on. Senate. The last one here it says is Senate Bill 772. Senator Brian Hughes, Republican of Mineola, and Representative Drew Springer, Republican of Munster, Texas, provides civil liability protection to business established which choose not to post 30-6, 30-7 signs, making them less vulnerable to frivolous lawsuits and giving them an incentive to adopt permissive policies for the carrying of handguns by law-abiding citizens on their premises. So, Travis?
Let's see. So, yeah, let's see. Provide civil liability protection to business. I got to read these like 2 or 3 times. Less vulnerable because if they're all pro guns, we shouldn't have to worry about them. No, don't we? Don't we want them to post the signs though? If they don't want your guns in there, I mean, don't we want that?
No. What it's saying, it's providing them liability protection if they choose not to use their signs.
Okay.
And allow
Okay.
more people to carry in their establishment.
Yes.
So they don't get lawsuits from it because people can protect themselves.
The only thing I could see that being a problem is if the insurance company that insures the building or the company has a strict no firearms on the property rule or law, and let's say employees were concealed carrying, and they'd have to use them, and there'd be some sort of. I mean, that's probably very, very rare, but it's good. It's good that they have that.
It encourages businesses to take those signs down and allow people to carry to protect themselves. Okay, that's all.
Yeah, and they're going to say you've got protection. If something happens, you're fine. Nobody's going to come after you because they can't, because you've done the right thing.
Yeah.
So definitely, man.
And people that aren't comfortable with seeing firearms in a building or establishment, well, move your ass to California.
Yeah, they can go someplace else. There's plenty of restaurants in Texas you can go eat at, so it's fine.
Funny is we have signs that you can put up here in Kansas, but you just hardly ever see one.
No,
just about everybody allows concealed carry.
In South Carolina, there are only a few places, like banks and the standard stuff you wouldn't be able to carry in anyways, like government buildings, like state government buildings, like the post office. Yeah, you can't carry there in the hospitals.
But why in the world would you want to put up a sign that says law-abiding citizens who choose to carry guns cannot do business here? So we're just going to cut our business in half. That's a good idea. That's a great business plan.
Yeah, it's a great business plan, isn't it? Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's all of our customers vulnerable because everybody who comes in, be they robbers or whatever, now knows that they don't have to deal with any weapons. So
for anyone that's listening, that's watching, if you're wondering why I'm looking to my left and to my right, is because I've got 3 screens in front of me. So the left one has the show notes tonight, and the right one has the chat for you, the YouTube chat, so I can see what you guys are posting. So if you see me looking back and forth, that's why. Because the hangout screen is right in front of me. The left is show notes. The right is YouTube chat. So just FYI, because I know some of you are seeing me look left and right, and I just wanted to explain that's why, because I have a wide screen setup.
One thing I want to say about those businesses is that it's a lot of huge chain restaurants and stores that are the ones that don't want the concealed carry. A lot of the mom and pop places, you don't seem to see that. At least that's around here, like your Applebee's or your Buffalo Wild Wings, places like that'll have signs posted. But a lot of the local restaurants, they don't say anything, or they have nothing posted, or you wouldn't know unless you looked them up on like a local list of non-pro carry friendly restaurants, which they're there. You can find those pretty easily online and stuff. All right, man. What's the next one?
That's it. We went all through all 10 of them.
So what's a statewide safe gun storage campaign? What's that's all about?
Apparently the Department of Public Safety in Texas, $500,000 in fiscal year 2020, $500,000 in fiscal year 2021, in general revenue to establish and promote a statewide safe gun storage campaign.
Did you read the end of that there? Yeah.
I'm reading. So, Republic Awareness Campaign shall begin no later than September 1st, 2020. Public Awareness Campaign may include online materials, printed materials, public service announcements, and other advertising media. The Public Awareness Campaign may not convey a message that it's unlawful under state law to keep or store a firearm that is loaded or that is readily accessible for self-defense.
I think it's a good thing because not everybody's got common sense. And if you say that, well, maybe they shouldn't have a gun, but I've had friends come to me and say, well, we want to get a gun. What's the best way to keep it out of our kids, but still keep it ready and available if we need it? What do we do?
Behind locked doors in a safe.
Yeah. Well, or you got biometric safes or the little hand scan ones or the little electric code ones or just a little slider safe, anything to keep it from being accessed by little hands, obviously, especially if you're not going to keep it out of their hands, you're going to keep it, say, on a nightstand or something. Even if you, my opinion is even if you tell your kids don't mess with those guns, if their friends come over or a family member shows up and they got a little kid or something, and you've got the gun just sitting on the nightstand, you really need to think ahead. even we lock up most of our guns when our friends bring their kids over and stay with us in the summertime. So I've always got some that are readily accessible that they wouldn't get to. I mean, in my opinion, but yeah,
But
I
yeah,
think it's a good thing.
So again, just making sure that people know to safely store your firearms. That's not actually a bad thing, because again, I understand some people want to have a gun no matter where they are in their house at all times. Cool, I'm with you there. But when you have to leave your house, as eventually every one of us do, you might want to store them in a secure location so that somebody who breaks into your house can't get at them. That's what you want. So
I'm going to jump in. I'm going to jump in and say, yeah, I mean, I've always went by, if it's not on my side, it's secured and locked up one way or another to I or certain family members have access. And the way I raised my kids, I thought my son was going to jump over in the chat, but he's 30. My kids knew, and they didn't. It's strange. All they had to do was say, Dad, how does it work? I take them out. At a very young age, they felt the concussion, they felt the recoil, they felt the blast, and they understood what that instrument was. Now, when it comes to people coming over, yeah. But most of the time with my kids, I didn't have a problem. All I had to do was ask. You know what I mean? It's like, let's go. But unfortunately, that common sense is not so common anymore.
Warsaw Patriot, which one? That's all I'm going to ask. You're asking me to read this and that. Which one? Anyways,
what about that last little story there about the NRA supported grant, or they supported an award, but they didn't necessarily pay for it?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
Well, it's good what they want to push for. I mean, that's not a bad thing. It's through the National Shooting Sports Foundation.
Well, Travis, you're bringing it up, so guess what? You volunteered.
Yeah. Okay, so there's this thing called Project Child Safe, firearm safety kits to Texas residents, and it was a $1 million grant from the state of Texas to the NSSF for the distribution of these kits to families in Texas that want them. And it's not anti-gun. It's not anti-gun rhetoric like they say, but it's just, okay, you've got guns in the home, you've got children, here's some stuff to think about. Again, basic common sense stuff that I think that we need to get out there.
Real common sense, not the shit people are trying to shove down your throats from any of these anti-gun groups.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Their common sense is to remove the problem, and hey, everybody, candy, teddy bears, and nice things will rain from the sky. It doesn't. You remove one equation, you get something else entirely. Look at England. Look at Australia. Instead getting rid of guns, only up to stabbings and blunt objects killing people. Just saying. All right. Anyways, moving on. Some of the guys out there in the chat are saying, "Hey, read this and that," and I'm like, guys, come on, let me know what to read. So don't just put it out there and just expect me to be on top of it, because my attention span, guys, come on, help me out here.
Dude, you're doing good, man. You're doing fine.
So, all right. The Warsaw Patriot was going on a rant. Let me find the stars. They don't like guns in Walmart. My Walmart doesn't care. They love guns.
No.
If I want to carry in Walmart, they say go ahead and carry. Just make sure it's concealed, because you have a permit for it. So just do that, and we're fine with it. Even the manager said, "Hey, we don't mind as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing legally. We don't mind. Just don't pull it out."
Does that Walmart have a no open carry policy?
No, it doesn't.
I was going to say, here in Ohio, we have open carry and concealed carry. I, of course, conceal carry.
No,
I could open carry, but there's no sign on the door saying one way or the other.
Yeah.
Most of South Carolina is, most of Walmart's South Carolina don't have that sign on them because, well, again, it's South Carolina. We love our guns. Just saying. So, all right. He also went on about where was it? I'm trying to find Patriots. It's like that's like basically if you think a no gun sign on stores is bad for business, it's also discrimination, like when segregation bad when white people didn't allow black people to use the bathroom. Yes, when they segregated bathrooms and drinking fountains and all this other stuff, which was ridiculously stupid. Stupid because, hey, telling someone they have to sit in the back of the bus or in the front of the bus or stand, good Lord, it's a fucking bus. It's bad enough if you have to use a bus instead of your own vehicle. Christ's sake, what does it matter? And again, like with the fountain, it's a drinking fountain. If you don't like other people drinking out of it, don't use the damn thing. Or bring some cleaning supplies with you if you're that worried about it. Jesus Christ. It's there for everyone, not just, one person or the other. That's why I didn't have to grow up with this segregation crap. And I don't believe in any of this segregation shit. And I don't like it when, people are saying, oh, my people have been oppressed and whatnot. I didn't fucking oppress you. I don't fucking care. Stop trying to throw this shit down my throat.
Well, if you look back at the way it was, like you were saying, people, you sit in the back of a bus, different. You watch the movie Hidden Figures about the moon landing and all that, and the black woman that was a genius. It's a true story, by the way. She had to use a different bathroom and run clear across. What the fuck? I mean, exactly, dude. I didn't oppress anybody, and I'm not. Why? And I was born in '66, dude. This stuff was still kind of.
It's a toilet. It's a bathroom.
Right.
It's gonna smell regardless of who goes in there. I'm sorry. That's just the fucking truth. No matter who goes in, it's still gonna stink. Get over it. Use better cleaning supplies and be done with it. Hire better janitors if you don't like how it smells.
Well, it's going to stink more if I've walked out of there because I try not to use public restrooms unless it's an absolute emergency. So, I mean, I'm an exception to the rule, but preach on, brother.
It sounds a lot like just
point. That's why I find this stuff ridiculous. And yes, I know this is what happened in the past, but again, segregating, the Second Amendment, treating the Second Amendment like a second-class right, that's awful enough. But the shit that they had to deal, people had to deal with in the 60s and the 50s because of this segregation shit, is just fucking ridiculous. Who cares who's driving the car?
Democrats care.
And Democrats are also the people telling you that you should let them throw all the, shove all this, LGBTQ, WTF, BDQ shit down your throat too. It's just like, I don't fucking care about it. Why do I need to see it every day? Just let people do what people want to do and move on and stop putting it in my face. What the hell? I don't care if you're trans what. If you want to know, quite honestly, I identify as an attack helicopter, an Apache, okay? So there you go.
I identify as a millionaire, but so far it's not working out so well.
I know, right? But again, that's why I find that shit ridiculous. I don't need to see it in my life every day. Get over it. Move on. Yes, you're proud that you're gay. Good. Get a job. Start working.
Get a job.
You're proud that you're transgender. Great. Fan-fucking-tastic. I don't need to see this every 5 minutes. Go move on. Actually live your life instead of telling people about your transition. How about you get out of your seat, go out and explore the world. The world is bigger than just the seat and you telling people about how you transition. I don't care if you transition. Just get out there and live your fucking life.
Nice strike. Easy,
Dude,
man. There's smoke coming out your ears.
You should be like a speechwriter for politicians because you can really get people going, man. That's up there, dude. That's up there. I'm getting out just watching you, bro.
If you listen to Armament and Axis, I could actually run someone's campaign for them if I wanted to.
You should. You're available now. Call him, guys.
I'm not disagreeing with anything. I think the crap is shoved down our throats. It's like, I don't care what but to shove it down my throat and tell me I have to approve.
If you're a transgender person, that's great. Fan-fucking-tastic. I'm glad you finally found yourself.
Do what you want. Do what you want. Do what you want.
You fucking want it. You do you. I don't care. Go out and live your life now. Stop telling people about it and start doing something with your life.
Stop pushing it down our throats. Like, this is what I'm doing. Well, okay, go do that.
You're gay and you're proud about being gay and whatnot. Fantastic. I'm glad you finally feel comfortable with yourself and with others. But I don't need to hear about it. Go out and live your life. Get a job.
Get a job.
Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna take a breath. I'm done. We're moving on.
Oh.
Yes, I do, Patriot. No gun signs is basically a discrimination. They're basically treating no gun signs basically treat law-abiding firearms owners as second-class citizens. That's what I believe. So there you go.
Hey, I got to give a shout out. My son did make it. Hill Climb, Ohio, JB, a very strong Pro 2A supporter, of course. Raised. Yep, he's out there. He just said he's eating a burger.
I'm sorry for going on a rant, but some of this shit just sets me off, and I'm tired of seeing this stuff shoved down our throats and on TV all the damn time, in the news. It's like, what? You guys don't have any jobs? You can't go and just live your life and be happy?
Dude, look, Nice Strike. I'm a little bit older than you, okay?
Come out of the closet. I don't care if you came out of the closet or you made a transition. Just live your life. Be happy with yourself once you make whatever transition it is, and live your life. Don't go on and on about telling people about it. People really don't care. They just care that you're happy and you're living your life. Go start doing it.
But dude, I just want to say that in my opinion, from what I've seen over my short life on this planet, it seems like now, or within the last 5 years or so, it's been more socially acceptable out in public, especially in the environment that I'm in, where I'm at, for people to be gay or proud or homosexual or whatever, what have you. That it was one of those things where there wasn't that embrace or celebration of unity of people. I don't know. Like, I'm just saying, you wouldn't see certain things, like, say, on TV before, or you wouldn't see people working in a certain establishment, or you wouldn't see people doing things out in public. It seemed like it was so much more shunned. But I think people were just happy about the fact that they can now enjoy themselves and they found themselves. And I don't disagree. I think that sometimes things can get a bit excessive and we're ready to move on. We've got bigger fish to fry now, but I just feel like
it's trying to throw it down our throats in media, TVs, movies, and whatnot. You know what? I don't care what orientation you are. I don't care, whether you identify as, a 5'7", gorilla, or if you identify as a 2 foot tall rabbit. I don't give a damn. Just live your life, be happy, and move on. That's all I ask.
Okay, I mean, that's fair enough, but I mean, let's think about it, Nice Trick. How would we feel?
I don't need to see it 24/7.
Nice Trick. How would we feel if we tomorrow morning passed national concealed carry reciprocity, and we would be dancing in the streets, or if we had national, if the NFA disappeared tomorrow? I mean, it would be weeks and weeks of people enjoying life and shooting and celebrating and talking about their newfound freedom and this. It's I mean, you can understand, it's just where some people are coming from. So they're just, I'm not trying to take a side. I'm just simply saying that that's what I see from people. I don't know.
That's an interesting point of view, Travis. I liked your perspective on that. And it does make you, I understand your point of view, Night Strike. I mean, yes, that it does get shoved down our throat. But when what Travis just said about, well, let's look at it from a different point of view. And you made a good analogy of what would happen if NFA, oh, hell yes, we'd be going to the local shop and buying suppressors and NFA items. So, I can understand, they fell to press for so long, and now it's like, oh, we're free. But, yeah, okay.
But I mean, Armament, you growing up through the 60s and 70s, you might have seen persecution against people that were homosexual. You heard about the nightclub attacks, and then the attacks on people, and and I've seen it in the 80s and 90s. We saw people, get killed and this and that.
Look at the nightclub there in Florida. The guy went in and shot people up.
I've got another question for y'all. All right. Armament Naxus, answer me this.
Yeah.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes.
Okay. Gizzard Gary, same question.
Of course it is.
It's something between bread. It's a sandwich.
Kingpin, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Nope.
We got one dissenter. We know who. Travis, is a hot dog a sandwich?
You know what? If you were to look at the chemical composition of a bun and a slice of Wonder Bread, I think you'd find them one and the same. The meat that's in the bologna and the meat that's in the hot dog is probably pretty similar. So I'm going to say yes, a hot dog could, if it wanted to identify as a sandwich, certainly could if it felt like it.
Love it.
So my answer, yes, a hot dog is in fact a variation of the sandwich.
Now, I think a hot dog is a sandwich, but again, I can understand why people don't think it is a sandwich because, you know, we eat hot dogs all the time here in America because we're Americans. We like food. You know, unlike in other countries where they don't like food, they can't get food, and they're starving.
So is a wrap a sandwich?
Ooh, is a wrap?
Because I mean, there's a lot of similarities between
wait
the bread wrap or the
but
flatbread.
I have to preface it with, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a big question. That's a question for next week. Is a wrap a sandwich?
So what defines it? What defines a sandwich? The bread that it's in between? I mean, you know, whatever.
Two or more separate layers of bread with some sort of barrier between them, made out of some sort of
now, Georgia Trucker 69 out there, hey bud, is saying Subway doesn't sell hot dogs, and you're right, they don't sell hot dogs. But I'm not going. But it's not my place to tell Subway, you know, that they're doing poor business practices by not selling hot dogs.
To be honest with you, the bologna that's probably used in a Subway sandwich, the composition of that meat is probably pretty similar to a cheap hot dog.
Yeah.
Pork, salt, sodium nitrate, preservatives, color, high fructose corn syrup. You know.
Oh, Rob D he's pulling out the carpet from under us. He's saying, I say a hot dog is, but a Slim Jim isn't candy. Oh, that's just
silly.
Well, if you see, it depends. What defines candy? Does candy have to have some sort of a sweet element to it? Because there's sour candies, there's savory candies. In other cultures, candy has a very different flavor than what we're used to. You know, you don't get the sweetness. You got more of a spicy or a richer flavor to it. Like look at some of the Hispanic candies that are out there. You'd be surprised the flavor profile. So let's define candy. Let's define candy, and then we can finally put this to an end. Let's see what is candy.
Well, some people think chocolate covered grasshoppers are candy. I'm pretty personal.
Well, you've got the chocolate element. You know, you might
Yeah.
So now here's the problem. Okay, if we look at dictionary.com, says that candy is a sweet food made with sugar or syrup combined with fruit, chocolate, or nuts. So you don't get the fruit, chocolate, or nuts in a Slim Jim.
But you can get the sweet. You can get the sweet. So,
but if you look at the list of ingredients I just posted over in the chat, you will see dextrose.
Yes.
Yeah,
but it says combined with fruit, chocolate, or nuts. But that's weird because not everybody's got the same definition of candy.
This is also true. So that's it's a hard one. It really is. But I'm gonna say we're gonna move on from the food topic. We got a few other things to talk about tonight. You know, aside from my rant going on and on about shit, and I'm sorry for that. It's just I'm getting sick of some of that stuff, and I had to make the stand. I had to let it be known that I don't care whether you're gay or trans. That you should just live your life and be done with it.
But you do care if somebody calls Slim Jims candy.
And the only time I care, it doesn't matter what orientation you are, what gender you are. The only time I care is when someone tries to infringe your rights. Okay, that's when I fucking care.
And Nice Strike, that's where I'm going to agree with you. Like we're talking about the pride celebrations and everything. Where I start to care is where me, just being your average everyday Joe, I'm being told I can't do something because of my orientation or my lifestyle choice. That's where I draw the line. I will support you, but if you don't see me as an equal, as another human being, and just because I'm from a certain background of a certain race, you don't see me being an equal to you as having the same rights and services or whatever as you, then that's where I start to draw a line. Like sitting here calling me the evil this or the evil that. I have no choice because of the way that I turned out. Neither did you. So why am I any different from you? You know. Okay. So that's where I draw a line is when it comes out and says, well, if you're like this, then you can't do that. Okay.
I was just going to interject the. So you're telling me that I support the 2A. You're going to be biased or, against me.
The only reason I care is if
No, not you, Night Strike. I mean other people. I'm just, yeah.
You know,
What
and if
about?
somebody take away your rights, then I'm yelling "shall not be infringed" at the top of my lungs, and I'm letting every fucking politician know it.
So, does anybody think that misgendering somebody should be a crime?
No, get over it.
Not unless you're doing it. If you're doing it intentionally to humiliate them or deny them some kind of a benefit, that could be seen for misgendering anybody for any reason.
Well, I mean, there's already laws against discrimination, so you got to scratch off the part where you don't give them a job because of that. I'm talking about if Travis decides he's going to be Sally tomorrow, and I still call him a man, should I be held legally responsible for that?
I can say this, as I have seen people throughout my 52 years that they weren't trying to be one or the other. They just looked at, and you didn't know to go, sir, ma'am. And you just went, thank you. Yeah, because I'm just, did you ever see the skit on Saturday Night Live, Who's Pat?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Pat. Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, we've all seen people like that. And it's like, yeah. So
they weren't sure what gender Pat was. So Pat was just an it.
Yes.
Yep.
And Pat's special friend was Billy. You didn't know Pat had a girlfriend or a boyfriend.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Billy. I just remember that skit when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pat was my best friend. Oh man.
All right.
So the good old days.
Guys, tomorrow we'll probably be doing Ransom Raves with Roll Call 219 on the Roll Call 219's channel. I'll do Ransom Raves with him, hopefully, because last week he bailed and went to the farm and, hid in the farm, because he had to take care of the chickens. So, oh well. But, yeah, I guess we're just going to wrap this one up. I don't want to continue going on about this. Question, Night Strike question. Did anyone hear about the new California law? Derek24, don't take this the wrong way, but no, I did not hear about the new California law. And quite honestly, I don't want to talk about California tonight. Quite honestly, I would be happy for the rest of my life if I didn't talk about the new shitty law coming out of California, ever. Because it seems like California doesn't know how to make good laws anymore. It's like every law California enacts, it's only a shitty law. It only infringes on someone's rights. It doesn't give anything back. So why the hell would I care about California laws? California laws are so bad that I don't go to California to visit any of my family because California laws.
Night Strike, he might be talking about, there was a city in Cali that declared to a sanctuary city, and I cannot remember the name of the city. I don't know if that's what he's talking about, but I did see that tonight. So
I haven't heard any good news out of California in a long while, and I'm ready to just close the book on California, quite honestly.
Did you guys see that the Daily Shooter? I watch his channel quite a bit. He left California.
Yeah, he moved to Vegas.
Went to
Yep.
Yeah, and it wasn't really the there was so much stuff that had happened that the whole life changed. They had to go.
Yep.
Which I'd support him, but I mean, he was to the point. He still says that he still wants to fight for California laws and rights and stuff, and still share with us what's going on. But now he can actually operate a firearms channel. He got monetized, and his camera equipment got stolen. His wife lost her job.
Oh my God!
It was a triple whammy, and they basically had 7 days to get out of the house and move into a new house. They had to be moved in. They had to move from wherever they were in California to Las Vegas within 7 days.
Wow.
Everything out of the house, everything gone within 7 days. There's no way how I can move a gun safe in 7 days.
I saw his video that they had moved North Vegas, but I didn't know all that. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's crap that he got demonetized too, because he produces a really good channel with a lot of good footage, a lot of good shooting footage and stuff too, and stuff ain't cheap, man.
Well, I do know that chatting with him through the past that everybody said leave Cali, and he didn't leave Cali for a reason.
Yeah.
But when Lockheed says you're fired to somebody, well, yeah, he said that his wife lost her job at Lockheed, and that's probably a good paying job. And and he said, well, let's go somewhere else, and he got out of Cali. So
yeah, I mean, that's That's it sucks that you have to leave California, but again, California is not like a great state to live in if you like guns, unfortunately. So, anyways, someone was asking Night Strike, did you hear about that lady that got a DUI for driving a Power Wheels in South Carolina? Now, I want to mention this. They arrested her for intoxication, not DUI, because technically a Power Wheels vehicle isn't a registered car. So they couldn't get her under DUI. All they could get her was operating a toy while intoxicated.
We had a guy that got that too. He rode his lawnmower out to Walmart out by the interstate, and he was wasted, and it was operating a motor vehicle under the influence. That's what they got him for, which is basically going to be the same thing as a DUI or DWI or whatever.
We got a guy around here that got arrested on a backhoe, and then on a bulldozer, and then he got arrested on his lawnmower. It was a really big lawnmower. This was like a tiny town just east of me, but yeah, honestly, the law in Ohio is stupid. You're not allowed to freaking drink a beer mowing your own lawn. It's dumb. Now, unless you're going to go do something stupid, ain't nobody going to mess with you. But if you're going to go out with a motor vehicle of any kind, you might not want to be drinking.
What about if it's like a self-propelled lawnmower that you walk behind? Are you safe?
I don't know.
I hope so.
Because if it includes a golf cart, there's a whole.
Oh yeah,
man. Anything that's got four wheels and a steering wheel, basically.
I want to know. I seen some of the coolest. It's a remote controlled lawnmower that they use to mow the banks of our reservoir here, and the guy stands up there with a remote control, and it's basically this lawnmower that's taller. I wonder if you could get a DUI running that.
Yeah, well, the reason she avoided the DUI charge was because her mode of transport was a toy, not a vehicle. So
wait a minute. So I want to know how big this woman was, because those things aren't made for adults. She had to be pretty tiny.
If you were like a 90-pound, 5'2" female, I think you could probably fit. Some of those Power Wheels are pretty good sized vehicles. Like you can sit on top of the seats. I worked at Toys R Us back in college, and we used to drive around the store all the time. I used to fit in Bigfoot.
I guess she's having her mid-20s life crisis then.
Yep.
Drunk, but again, it was funny to hear that. It was also funny to hear that she avoided the DUI charge. That was funny. But yeah.
Hey, yeah, I think I'm gonna do that, buddy.
Derek 24 is going on about the DUIs, the ammo stuff, and we know you're going to have to go through a background check to buy ammo from now on. That's awful. So, Travis, give us your give us your plug.
All right, man. So real quick, Caliber Corner Thursday nights, 5 to 7 Central Time, 6 to 8 East Coast Time. It's a firearms chat you can go to over on gunchannels.com, and it also gets posted on guntube.org. And I'll be doing Coffee Corner at some point, maybe this week or next week. It's going to be a little afternoon coffee chat. We're going to talk about coffee. It's going to be on my B channel, and so I will be sure to post that and make a video about it on my regular channel before I put any information out about it. So it should be fun. No set time, no set schedule. We'll just do it when we feel like it. So that's it, man. Thank you so much. Do you appreciate it?
Yep, no problem.
All right. Thanks,
Armament. Man. Armament Nexus.
I had to find my unmute button. Nothing, man. Tried to go shooting last weekend. Rain. Hopefully get out in the next day or two. Got a new site to try out, blah, blah, blah. Other than that, YouTube, Facebook, a little bit on Instagram, a little bit on Twitter. Other than that, not a lot, man. Thanks for the invite. It was good hanging out with all you guys.
Hey, no problem. All right. Who do we have next? Who's still here? Going through it. Gizzard Gary.
Well, GizzardGary.com is my website. Foul Territory Friday nights, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Early Bird Chat Sunday mornings, 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Also, remember, if you see George Grayson, can't remember to tell him happy birthday this Sunday. He turns 5. So thanks for the invite and give him the bird.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday, kitty. He's a big cat.
He's a big boy.
All right, David, Kingpin.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. And everybody check out the early watch tomorrow with Dead Horse and Tony.
Right. Guys, I got another video coming out this week. Unfortunately, it's raining a lot, so I don't think I'll be able to do another shooting video for a little while. So what I got sent a package the other night from one of the guys who watches the channel a lot. He sent stuff to me before. He doesn't want anybody to know who sent this, so I'm gonna say it's anonymous. But I got a mail call, so I will post that video up as soon as I get that rendered and all that, and put that on Patreon for all of my patrons. And then, later this week, everybody else will see it. So, check that out. As far as doing anything else, probably I'm not going to wedding this weekend, so I don't have to travel. Great, but again, that means I'm not going anywhere. So I'll probably figure out something to do this weekend. I mean, if I could do anything, as far as any live stuff or something, I'll try and do that. But again, we'll see what happens. I really could use the support with GunTube right now because it's really digging into me right now. So if anybody would like to go over to patreon.com/GunTube and help out that way, also go to blog.guntube.org/shop. And you can support GunTube that way as well. They've got stickers and patches there, But it's getting to the point where it's either I get some help with GunTube or I have to turn it off. I'm getting to that point now. And businesses, apparently GunTube doesn't have enough user base or enough activity to get any other businesses interested in GunTube. So looks like I'm stuck with it. So there we go. Psycho found the link. And what does it say? North Carolina Sheriffs. Want to decide if you may or may not carry. People are saying, Psycho, all I have to say about North Carolina is they already have that more or less in North Carolina because they have a permit to purchase, and the local law enforcement can decide whether or not you can purchase a firearm, a handgun, or not, and you must get a purchase permit from North Carolina law enforcement before you buy a handgun in the state of North Carolina. Now, in the better of the Carolinas, we don't have that. In South Carolina, you go pass your background check and walk out with your gun. Okay, but in North Carolina, you go to your law enforcement first, get the permit so you can go to the gun shop, you can give them the permit, and then go home with your gun. And people are saying, well, Night Strike, North Carolina is better. They've got open carry. Yes, they have open carry, but again, I don't need someone's permission to buy a firearm in South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, we got background checks here, but
and Psycho, I know what it sounds like, and it does kind of sound like they want the ability to control whether or not they get to issue people a concealed carry permit. And well, it sucks for North Carolina, but I'm glad I live in South Carolina. I'll tell you that.
Well, I can tell you this: I just renewed mine for the second time yesterday, which means I've been carrying for over 10 years. And the last time I renewed, I had to wait for the background check. Dude, I went in. There's my application. Actually, my buddy printed it, and he says when he renewed his, and he says, here's a copy for you. Filled it all out, took it in. Boom, boom, boom. It used to be I had to wait. It was instantaneously. Did everything I had to do. Renewed. Boom, done. $50 out the door. Got my new one.
I just want to mention on that, Psycho, that they want the ability to say yes or no on it. That doesn't mean the state has to give it to them. If the state says one thing on the subject, then they have to follow the state law. And if they don't like the state law, well, then don't be a sheriff in North Carolina. That's what that means. So,
I will tell you this: our sheriff, he's pro 2A vet. really good dude.
So I mean, my sheriff, he's a Republican, but that doesn't mean anything as far as gun rights. He doesn't respond to requests from the NRA as far as gun rights and whatnot, but he doesn't go out of his way to say anything anti-gun rights. He just kind of follows the middle line. And quite honestly, if he's not going to say anything good about it, as long as he doesn't say anything bad about it and goes on his way, I don't give a damn. Okay, I'll vote for him again as long as he keeps that middle line where his main focus is that he's concerned with the law and people following the law and criminals being put in jail and being held accountable. If that's his focus, then you know what, I'm fine with that. But if he starts saying stuff about anti-2A stuff, sure as the sunshine, I'm going to yell at him, shall not be infringed, and vote for someone else.
Well, and that's the thing, because sheriff is an elected official, and you want them to be a sheriff. You don't want them to be a politician.
No, you want them to do one thing, their job.
Exactly, and their job is not being a politician.
Right. Even if they get they run for election. Yes, it's an elected position, but the point is, they're an elected. They're basically an elected chief law enforcement officer.
Right. Yep. Of that county. Yep.
Of that county. So again,
and that's the thing, because in Ohio, the sheriff of the county proceeds over cities, over the towns.
So with that, guys, we're gonna see you later. I'm gonna send some links out here on the side. Support GunTube. See. Damn it.
Hit it with a hammer.
Yeah, I know. Hit it with a hammer.
Dude, honestly, I didn't know GunTube wasn't doing that good. I want to get you on Hanks, man. We got to get you. We got to promote. Let me.
I am seriously.
I know. I heard what you were saying. If we can promote somehow, I'm just putting it out there. I got to get you on Hank's show, and you might have to put a filter on, brother, just a little bit.
But hey, I seriously need help with GunTube, because what you guys don't know is, yes, I'm getting help on Patreon to rent that server, but right now we're filled to capacity almost on GunTube, and I'm gonna have to do something. And quite honestly, because of the bandwidth fees, I'm paying $250 a month for GunTube server right now because of bandwidth fees. So unfortunately, I need some serious support. I don't care what kind of support. The store, the Spreadshirt store, Patreon, whatever help anybody can give me, or word of mouth to somebody maybe who wants to donate to help GunTube, go further. But I need better software. I need more storage. I don't have it. I can't afford it. And if I can't afford it, you know what? It's either one of two things. Keep GunTube online, or take GunTube offline and go buy guns, because that's what I'm going to do. Because I haven't bought any actual firearms this year. I've only bought receivers because GunTube's expensive.
Yeah, right. It's not like us. We got a YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying?
I'm done ranting. I'm done saying this stuff. So, guys, I'll see you guys next week. Check out Roll Call 219's channel. We'll do rants and raves where I will go off on a tangent even further. I promise that. Other than that, guys, we'll see you next week. I'll try and get that video out. And if I can do something for you guys, I'll try and do something for you guys this week too. Because I know I'm not doing the Friday night strike anymore. I'm going to try and do something. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to make an attempt. So I'll see you guys on the next one. You guys take it easy. Thank you all for listening. This was Hit or Miss.
Hey.